Here's some of the training I've been doing with a high-level karate athlete. Right here is the Go Drill. Got this from Cal Dietz, and it's triphasic stuff. Basically, it's just to try to prime the nervous system and supposedly to connect the left and right hemisphere. And if you do stuff like this, it's supposed to help with the rest of the exercises you do. Here I'm thinking we're doing some sprints, and something that Cal Dietz also said is he would do like RPR, reflex performance reset, the Go Drill, and then he would do sprints, and that was the warm-up. Then he'd start the workout. So what we're doing here is sprints with the run rocket. So at first I did a heavier resistance, then I just changed it there to a lower resistance to do a little contrast training. And then what we do from there is, this is something new. I've been having him grab this tidal tank, this water bag. There's close to 20 pounds of water in this thing, and then I have him do it on the third run here. And what this is doing is the water, because it's moving all around, it's making him more unstable, which makes him have to have more proprioception and really just turn on the brain a lot in all the small musculature, hopefully through like the foot and ankle and through the whole body. So just more coordination, more proprioception, so a lot of neuro stuff. Now here's an example of something we're doing for the feet, and this is just an isometric hold where he's trying to push into the wall. The harder he pushes into the wall, the harder the wall pushes back on him. So just some isometric exercises for the feet. We've been working on training the feet first after we warm up, just for an experiment. Now, a little bit more stuff for the foot, but a little bit more dynamic now, not isometric, and doing some jumps. I think I picked this exercise up from a track coach, and we change them up a lot, but lately we've been doing, after we warm up, we've been doing stuff for the feet, the hips, and the core. Ideally, if you knew like the athlete needed to do something that was super important, he had a big deficiency or discrepancy somewhere, I like to front load what he needs the most in the beginning while he's fresh. But to be honest, this athlete's pretty good everywhere except for he needs to work on some rotation. So I've been doing it more like, like I said, with the feet first, hips, and the core. Here we're doing just kind of a, calf exercise, isometric, but he's pushing into the Voltra there to produce, see how much force he can produce. And then here's some exercises for the core. I have a really big exercise index, and so for core training I couldn't even tell you how many exercises. So here's just an example of some. This one right here I got from a track coach as well. And you find out what works and what the athlete likes, what they look good at. You either keep it or you discard it depending on observation and feedback. Here we're doing a little rotation, as you can see, with the med ball. Then when we got this tidal tank, we decided let's try it with this instead of the med ball. And it's quite different since the water moves. And we got a little bit more rotation here, more core rotation using the Voltra again. Just one of our many exercises for the core. Here's for rotation. Here's another rotational exercise, but without using the hands. So we have a rotational sling on from Eccentrics, makes this. Some leg training, more for power with the K-Box, split squats on the K-Box. Honestly, it's hard to tell what this karate athlete needs, if he needs more strength, more power, or more speed, because he's pretty good anywhere, and I really need to throw him on the Proteus to identify that with all these different movements. What strength quality does he need? So this is essentially just a montage of training, me just showing you some of the different stuff we're doing. Here I got this from Marv Marinovich and Dr. Edith House. And here's just an upper body rotation exercise with the press that I've been doing now for a few years, and I do like. Our first time doing it. Here I get this exercise from Jay Schrader. So we're just doing some jumps where you're working on your hip flexor. Ideally, you should be coming up a little higher. And then I tell him to jump. He jumps as high as he can, and he tries to stick the landing in a split squat. So there's a ton of other exercises that we've been doing. Like I said, this is just a montage of some of the training that we've been doing lately. I just wanted to showcase just for video content. Haven't put up a YouTube video in a bit. Again, high level karate athlete here.